गुड मॉर्निंग। मेरा नाम कर्नल निधीश भटनागर है और मैं राष्ट्रीय रक्षा यूनिवर्सिटी में आईटी के स्कूल का हेड हूँ। आज भारत नेशनल साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक्सरसाइज 2024 के तहत यहाँ पर भारत चीफ इंफॉर्मेशन सिग्नल सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर्स कॉन्क्लेव का आज इनॉग्रेशन किया गया आज सुबह, और अभी वो पैनल डिस्कशंस हैं जो चल रहे हैं। इन द मॉर्निंग टुडे the Deputy National Security Advisor TI Shri TV Ravichandran inaugurated the CISO's Conclave at the Bharat National Cybersecurity Exercise 2024. भारत नेशनल साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक्सरसाइज 2024 का उद्देश्य है कि हमारी जो भारत देश की जो साइबर रेजिलियंस है वो बढ़े, हम अपने जो क्रिटिकल इंफॉर्मेशन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है उसको प्रोटेक्ट करें, जो साइबर थ्रेट एक्टर्स हैं, जो हैक्टिविस्ट हैं, ताकि हमारी सुरक्षा, ये केवल जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के शब्दों में साइबर सुरक्षा केवल साइबर तक सीमित नहीं है, ये राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा का एक नुआंस है। भारत नेशनल साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक्सरसाइज जो 18 नवंबर को शुरू हुई थी, उसमें तकरीबन 450 लोग ट्रेन होंगे जो गवर्नमेंट, पब्लिक और प्राइवेट सेक्टर से आए हुए हैं, और ये वो लोग हैं जो कटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजी, जो इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी मैनेजर्स हैं, उनको देखते हैं। पहले 6 दिन यहाँ पर उनकी ट्रेनिंग करी गई और कल से यानी कि ट्यूसडे से यहाँ पर एक लाइव फायर एक्सरसाइज शुरू हुई है, जहाँ पे हर एक साइबर सिक्योरिटी टीम, 24 टीमें हैं, हर एक साइबर सिक्योरिटी टीम को एक सिमुलेटेड साइबर रेंज पे एक एनवायरनमेंट दिया गया है, और रेड टीम जो थ्रेट एक्टर है, जो हैक्टिविस्ट है, उनका रोल दर्शा रही है और उस पर वो अटैक कर रही है। आज भारत सीसोस कॉन्क्लेव में 2 चीज़ें का लॉन्च किया गया। सबसे पहला है नेशनल साइबर सिक्योरिटी रेफरेंस फ्रेमवर्क, जो कि पूरे जो गाइडलाइंस हैं, जो पूरी हमारी जो कंपेंडियम है, जो हमारी बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, जो की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर्स हैं, उनको कैप्चर करती है, और ये हमारी साइबर सिक्योरिटी, साइबर रेजिलियंस पूरे देश को बढ़ाने में एक बहुत उद्यम कदम है। इसके अलावा जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है वो इस दौरान हमारी इंडिजिनस साइबर रेंज, आज तक भारत में इस स्केल की साइबर रेंज नहीं थी। पिछले 2 साल से राष्ट्रीय रक्षा यूनिवर्सिटी नेशनल सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल सेक्रेटेरिएट के साथ काम कर रही है, और उन्होंने एक इंडिजिनस साइबर रेंज बनाई है जो स्केलेबल है, जो बिल्कुल ऑटोमेटेड है, और वो वर्ल्ड की टॉप साइबर रेंजेस में उनकी जो फीचर्स हैं उससे बेहतरीन है। ये केवल पहला फेज़ है साइबर रेंज का, और अगले कुछ सालों में, 2 साल में, 3 साल में ये रेंज हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि विश्व की सबसे उत्तम रेंज होगी, ये वही है।
सर, पहला सवाल, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन कि आपने ये बहुत बढ़िया एक इंडिजिनस देश का अपना रेंज बनाया है साइबर सिक्योरिटी के लिए। पहला सवाल ये है सर कि क्या ये रेंज डोमेस्टिक इश्यूज़ को केटर कर पाएगी? हम फॉरेन के और विदेश से जो साइबर अटैक हो रहे हैं वो तो इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि डिप्टी नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइज़र ने एक अपने उद्बोधन में ये कहा कि आज साइबर लिटरेट ज़्यादा है एजुकेशनल और एकेडमिक लिटरेट से। कितना बड़ा ये चैलेंज आप समझते हैं और अपॉर्चुनिटी है एजुकेशन, उनको एडुकेट करना, और दूसरा कि यदि कोई चैलेंज आता है तो मिटिगेट करना डोमेस्टिकली, देन वी विल टॉक अबाउट द इन एक्सटर्नल।
ओके, देखिए ये जो रेंज है, सबसे पहले जैसे मैंने अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में बताया था, ये रेंज भारत के लिए है, भारतीयों ने बनाई है, और भारत के फुल प्रोडक्ट्स इसमें लगे हुए हैं, और इसका मकसद है कि भारत के ऊपर कोई भी साइबर अटैक आए उसको ये सिमुलेट करे और उसको कैसे उसका तोड़ निकाले, ये रेंज इसको एक प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करेगी। इसके अलावा ये रेंज भारत के हर एक एंटिटी, गवर्नमेंट, पब्लिक, प्राइवेट, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के लिए अवेलेबल है। ये रेंज इनको एक प्लेटफॉर्म देगी ताकि हमारी जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी ट्रेनिंग है, साइबर सिक्योरिटी अवेयरनेस है, उसको जहाँ पर है वहाँ से कई ज़्यादा स्टेप्स ऊपर लेकर आएगी।
सर, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि होम मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर ये भी आता है कि आप जो फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड्स हो रहे हैं, और वो बहुत मिलियंस में भी हो रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा नंबर है, और वो नेशन के लिए कंसर्न भी है। उसके लिए आपका ये रेंज कितना रोबस्ट है?
ये रेंज फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड्स को, जो इसका दूसरा चरण है, सेकंड फेज़, उसमें इसको वो इनकॉर्पोरेट करेगी। अभी इसने एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया है, कुछ क्रिटिकल सेक्टर्स को इंक्लूड किया है, जो फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर है, फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड्स है, वो अगले फेज़ में इंक्लूड करेगी।
सर, आज की जो वर्ल्ड की स्थिति है आप लोग भी बहुत क्लोजली मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। एक कंट्री से दूसरे कंट्री पे साइबर अटैक हो रही हैं और रोज़ ये न्यूज़ में, इंटरनेशनल न्यूज़ में आ रहा है, चाहे यूरोप में हो रहा हो चाहे अमेरिका में हो रहा हो। अब हिंदुस्तान भी उससे अछूता नहीं रख सकता। अपने आप को रोबस्टनेस कैसे करेंगे?
देखिए, जो साइबर अटैक्स हो रहे हैं, हमको अपनी जो साइबर वर्कफोर्स है उसको रेजिलिएंट करने की ज़रूरत है। उसको इतनी लेवल की ट्रेनिंग की ज़रूरत है कि कोई अटैक ऐसा ना हो जो हमारी जो साइबर वर्कफोर्स है, भारत की साइबर वर्कफोर्स, उसको तोड़ ना पाए। और ये रेंज, ये हमारी साइबर वर्कफोर्स को उस लेवल पर लेके जाएगी।
सर, आपने कहा कि ये जो रेंज है आपने जो बनाया है ये लाइव हो गया है, और रेड अटैक जो है, क्या ये आप पब्लिक से भी, आप हैकर्स को भी इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं, उनको आमंत्रित कर रहे हैं कि आपको अपने रोबस्टनेस को स्टडी करने के लिए?
बिल्कुल। देखिए, जो हमारे सिस्टम्स हैं, जो ब्लू जो बोलते हैं, जो हमारे अपने सिस्टम्स हैं, वो तो हैं जो उनके वो है, लेकिन जो हमारे हैकर्स हैं, जो एथिकल हैकर्स हैं, उनको हम इन्वॉल्व करते हैं ताकि वो बताएं किस तरीके से अटैक करते हैं, और उनके जो तरीके हैं वो इसको इसमें बिल्ड करते हैं ताकि हमारी जो डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म है वो और बेहतरीन हो।
कोई फॉरेन कंट्री से भी आप टाई अप कर पा रहे हैं? रशिया का बहुत बढ़िया है, फिनलैंड बहुत बढ़िया है, स्लोवेनिया बहुत बढ़िया है, यूएस, कनाडा भी अच्छा है, इंग्लैंड भी है।
बहुत कंट्रीज़ की हमने रेंजेस स्टडी करी, फिर हमने बोला कि हम अपनी रेंज बनाएंगे। उस रेंज का एक एक लाइन कोड हमने शुरुआत से लिखा है और फिर बनाया है। बाद में मैं तो ये बोलता हूँ, बाकी विश्व आएंगे हमसे कोलैबोरेट करने, ना कि हम जाएं उनके साथ कोलैबोरेट करने।
So you took 2 years to work on the blueprint, and then finally today is being the launch there. What it should be, what the message should go to the defense people who are in critical sectors, but also for people who want our nation to be safe, because you are the right person to analyze it, and because you have gone through the basic from the step 1 to where we are today.
Right. You see, cybersecurity is a function of three things: people, processes, and technology. Now we have given them an indigenous Atmanirbhar technology platform. Within this technology platform, we will also build in processes so that the people are aware as to what processes to follow. And then our intention is to get a larger Indian community to be trained, and that is where people come in. So it is not just the technology alone. It is people, processes, and technology, and that is what we are looking at.
And the real challenge is to be on the job 24/7.
I would say my team does not work 24/7. They work 25/9. We assume they are 25 hours in a day and 9 days in a week.
All the best, and we look forward to this robustness.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Jai.
Full visibility of the logs of all the devices is something which again you need to look at. Ensure training of your people who are part of your team. This is something which you need to constantly attempting to do as CISOs. You need to make sure that your professionals who are part of your landscape are trained continuously, not only from the challenges which are there in the system as in its current format, but also on futuristic challenges which are there. And that's where probably meetings like this, cross-sector, interactions which you actually develop through such seminars, conferences will assist you.
Head south, then make a U-turn.
You also need to have full visibility on the regulatory frameworks, policies and guidelines, and have your own SOPs prepared at your respective levels, something which you could actually look at based on your ecosystem. You need to carry out routine risk assessment based on emerging threats and brief your respective hierarchies. In fact, right till the board level, you should have approach to that, and then you must put across the risks which are going to emerge from this ecosystem, and you should be part of the decision-making apparatus. As I mentioned, it's a challenge, but I think this is something which we need to drill down in our cyber landscape ecosystem. Of course, I didn't mention about the audits. Audits are a prerequisite for a safe cyber ecosystem. So that's where I think you need to, as CISOs, push for continuous audits. It could be internal audits, and there has to be an external audit which is part of the entire landscape. And I can actually keep going on and on what should the CISOs be doing and not doing. Suffice to say that you are all like supermen attempting to protect the ecosystems from unknown enemies who will constantly be targeting you. Besides dedication, perseverance, technical competence, you need assistance from multiple stakeholders who are also in similar situations like you. And that's where, as I mentioned, forums like this will assist you in connecting with each other, discussing the challenges, possible solutions, best partners you can engage with, besides gaining knowledge from the training and your teams get from the exercises which they are actually undergoing right now. I keep repeating this, that there's nothing called perfect cybersecurity, and our endeavor should be to constantly watch, monitor, update, respond, recover and retrieve and be functional at the earliest. This should be the endeavor actually we should attempt to do. There are a number of policy initiatives which we are attempting to do from the NSCS. While cybersecurity is covering multiple ministries, multiple sectors, we have recently, I'm sure all of you are aware, that the allocation of rules of business rules of the Government of India has now dedicated sections on cybersecurity, where DOT, MeitY, Ministry of Home and the NCS, the Security Council Secretariat have been given responsibilities. I'm sure all of you are aware of it. So this is the first attempt to make sure that there is a coordinated mechanism at the governmental level to thwart the vulnerabilities in this domain. We are also looking at skill gaps. Now, this is a major challenge for all of us because I mentioned that there are not adequate skilled professionals in this domain, which is a challenge, and I think this is one of the foremost challenges which we will take upon to ensure that there is adequacy of trained professionals to handle cybersecurity. Standards, certification and testing facilities is another challenge which we are looking at in a serious manner. I'm sure over the next few months we'll have this entire setup actually refined. As mentioned by Manjeet, there are a large number of R&D initiatives which are going on in this cybersecurity.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to be amidst the most learned and intellectual community of CISOs here, and I consider this as a good opportunity to kind of have discussions with you in building up the resilience of national cybersecurity. My colleagues, General Nair, General Manjeet Singh, Narendra, have played a very critical role in shaping up this Bharat NCX in collaboration with RRU. So I would like to broadly highlight certain aspects, because as CISOs, you are the front line in the cyber defense of the country. You have a very large role to play. Just as our soldiers in the borders, you are also there everywhere. And this is a great responsibility, because the reasons are that our digital systems, all of you would have seen how the digital revolution has shaped in the international theatre as well as in the national level also. At the national level, in fact, it is faster than at the international level. The e-governance, the digital payment systems, the e-banking system, and so on and so forth. Today, if you look at India, the digital literacy is far higher than the normal language literacy. That's the way from across the borders. Our people have appreciated the way our digital systems have been built up. There are many good things which have happened. A person who may not be able to read and write any particular language is very efficiently able to harness the UPI systems. So this is something which the digital revolution has brought in. I would say this is actually a digital explosion. So having said that, you have to be also on guard against what you call as digital dystopia. So it can cause social disruptions if unchecked. So, or unregulated, or if you are not in a position to properly handle these digital systems, because it is going spontaneously. So you will have to also have a kind of a structured and organized response to shaping up the cyber defense and cyber resilience. So therefore, in this kind of environment, the roles of CISOs are very important, especially if you look at from earlier we had a very reactive approach, episodic responses, but now you have to be constantly alert, and you will have to be proactive and with a lot of prognosis how to preempt such cyber strikes. So this is a very important responsibility, and the critical infrastructure which we have, which is practically involving the normal citizens, common man, like you take telecom sector, you take power and energy sector, the ship and ports, health, insurance, so on and so forth. So in these kind of scenarios, if there is a kind of some disruption happening, imagine the situation where a person's privacy is lost. So this is going to be a very important aspect which you need to factor. And the cyber crimes which are taking place, from there we have gone into kind of major attacks on the critical infrastructures. This is a big challenge, and you have a great responsibility as CISOs to fulfill. And this is the age of hybrid war, and cyber weapons are on the rise. So one needs to be fully aware of the developments which are taking place. If you look at the cyber threat landscape, from the traditional malwares which leave their signatures, which we know their CPCs, we know how their file systems are. We have now moved into the latest world of living of the land attacks, LOTL it is popularly called. As per one private group which has done a study, 5 out of 10 attacks which are taking place in critical infrastructure in the recent times are of living of the land attacks. Here, in this, there is no program which is directly launched. You can't find a file actually. It's a fileless transmission into the PowerShell and Windows management instrumentation. So the SOC will not be able to detect also. So this is the kind of situation where indicators of attack and all, you have to do a very good prognosis and build systems which are resilient. So therefore the responsibilities are far wider in this regard. So we need to also factor in the current cybersecurity landscape the kind of ransomware attacks which are taking place, where people sometimes are even tempted to pay off the ransom rather than mitigate, because mitigation takes about a few more days, few more weeks, and then the kind of the hospitality, hotel, or any kind of, even for that matter, health management. So that loss will be far more than the ransom. So people ultimately pay off. So such kind of things, one should be able to be prepared and take preventive measures. And similarly, as General Mandeep Singh has said, the supply chain attacks which are also on the rise. So we need to factor that. We need to see how.
Sri T.V. Ravichandran, National Cybersecurity Coordinator, Lieutenant General M.U. Nair, dignitaries on and off the dais, my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to address you all in the prelude to the release of the National Cybersecurity Reference Framework, also termed as the NCRF. India's digitalization initiatives over the past decades have significantly increased and brought enhanced national productivity, efficiency, growth and quality of service. Internet connectivity has extended much beyond regular ICT equipments like computers and mobile phones, and has expanded to connect with cyber physical or smart systems. This enlarges the attack surface with the threat of remote exploitation of operational technology networks and systems such as power grids, pipelines, air traffic control systems, port operation systems, railway signaling systems, air defense and coastal surveillance networks, etc. In recent years, many threat actors backed by the nation-state actors and organized cyber criminal groups have attempted to target the critical information infrastructure of the country. The availability of cyber attack as a service has reduced the entry threshold for new cyber criminals, thus increasing the exposure of individuals and organizations to new threats in the cyberspace. The number, complexity and approaches and sophistication of cyber attacks is going up. Traditional approaches to cybersecurity such as perimeter security and cyber protection of a few devices are no longer sufficient for the defense of an enterprise or the nation's ICT infrastructure, especially in the context of the advanced persistent threats and ransomware attacks that pose serious danger to the nation's well-being. Hence, a need was felt to formulate a strategic response that addresses the protection of the national cyberspace holistically. Recognizing this, the National Security Council Secretariat, through the Office of the National Cybersecurity Coordinator and the National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, that is NCIPC, a unit of NTRO, have worked on the conceptualization, design and documentation of the National Cybersecurity Reference Framework. The final version of the NCRF is now ready for release. This version, called 1.0 of the NCRF, has been prepared with input from all stakeholders, including critical sector ministries, regulators, critical sector entities, and domain, industry and academic experts of cybersecurity from across the country. The document has been reviewed by multiple stakeholders whose suggestions and recommendations have enhanced the quality of the documents. The preparation of the NCRF has been a successful collaborative effort of the best minds in the country and can be truly called as a national initiative. The same has been reviewed and vetted by a committee headed by the National Cybersecurity Coordinator and having representatives from all the stakeholders, including the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, NIC, CERTIN, MHA, CIRA, DCYA, IB, DOT, DRDO and sectoral regulators like the RBI. After studying and analyzing all the policies, guidelines, regulatory and industry best practices available worldwide, NCRF has come up with guidelines which is most relevant for the country and would be mandated or recommended to be adopted by different stakeholders, especially the critical sector entities in our federated digital ecosystem. The NCRF is primarily designed for critical sector entities and regulated entities, but can also be used by other organizations too to achieve cyber resilience. It provides a set of high-level artifacts and strategic guidance to help different stakeholders address their cybersecurity needs in a systematic and structured manner. It also gives detailed guidelines on how the entities can build their cybersecurity capabilities by improving processes, manpower capabilities, and proper adoption of technology. It gives cybersecurity practitioners a well-rounded perspective of the multidimensional aspects of cybersecurity and cyber resilience. The framework comprises of the NCRF main document and 3 supporting documents, namely the NCRF Compendium of Practices and Processes, the NCRF Compendium of Guidelines, Frameworks and Standards, and the NCRF Compendium of Technology, Products and Solutions. Now I'll give a brief of what these documents are about. The NCRF main document outlines the vision, objective, purpose and scope of the NCRF. It emphasizes the importance of governance of enterprise IT and enterprise information security governance, offering a framework that guides governing bodies and top management in effectively managing their organization's use of IT and ensuring its protection. The document includes an enterprise architecture framework structured with an ontology of tags which encompasses the enterprise business architecture framework and the enterprise technology architecture framework. The information security capability framework provided in the document outlines essential high-level information security capabilities that organizations should develop to create a smart, resilient and sustainable federated digital ecosystem. The document also details how to implement cyber resilience capabilities through effective conceptualization and execution of IT and OT projects alongside incremental engineering improvements throughout a project's life cycle. Finally, it emphasizes achieving cyber resilience during project operations through well-designed processes supported by technology and tools, along with ensuring that the workforce is adequately trained and competent in these processes. It covers the 3 main pillars of cybersecurity, that is the people, the process as well as the technology. The NCRF Compendium of Practices and Processes provides guidance on policies, best practices and processes, and also provides assessment matrix in the form of key performance indicators, which we call the KPIs, that are vital for creating a secure digital environment. Recognizing that cybersecurity is not just a technical issue left to the technology and information security teams within an organization, the NCRF Compendium of Practices and Processes addresses governance, risk management, training, capacity building, and workforce competency development as critical components of a well-rounded security posture. The guidance provided is both actionable and adaptable, empowering organizations to implement it in ways that best suit their operations. The NCRF Compendium of Guidelines, Frameworks and Standards provides a summary of the national and international references that are useful and relevant for the cybersecurity of organizations. A short write-up against various items provide a general overview to assist stakeholders in understanding their usage context. This will help stakeholders carry out further research and seek further inputs from experts to facilitate the business or technical decisions made by them. The catalog of technologies, products and solutions provide a general overview of technology solutions and products and their functions and capabilities to assist the stakeholders in understanding their usage. It also provides the list of Indian and open source products mapped to various relevant technologies. I would request this august house to promote the development of indigenous products, solutions and services. Since the document is a reference framework, the enterprise leadership should adopt the guidance in these chapters for articulating the organization's missions and objectives. The guidelines outlined in the NCRF are intended as baseline standards that all CII entities should adhere to. The NCRF vision in brief is as follows. Coherence in the domain of cybersecurity at the national level and to provide baseline guidance for cybersecurity with special emphasis on CSEs, the critical sector entities and associated stakeholders, that is the supply chain entities, the service providers, their auditors and so on. A common framework for IT and information security governance, cybersecurity capabilities and management systems to enable critical sector entities and sectoral regulators for planning and implementing necessary cybersecurity protections. A cohesive cybersecurity related governance structure for critical sector entities to ensure appropriate emphasis at all levels of enterprise towards protection, detection and response to any cyber attacks and to aid assist quick and effective recovery. Well-defined processes and workforce competencies for the IT, OT and information security engineering and operations. Promote the development and adoption of indigenous cybersecurity framework and the use of Make in India cybersecurity products. And last but not the least, promote the development of curated training programs within the country for the creation of a pool of skilled cybersecurity professionals to man the critical sector entities. To conclude, the NCRF has been designed to accommodate the diverse needs and operational context of the critical sector entities within a federated digital ecosystem. Many of the guidance is based on the insights gained by NCIPC from the recent cyber attacks in the CII entities and our on-ground risk and security gap analysis in CII entities. Our cross-sectoral risk analysis shows different sectors at different levels of maturity and different regulators following different regulatory mechanisms and approaches. NCRF provides a practitioner-focused perspective, harmonizing various frameworks, standards and governance models to ensure relevance and applicability. The guidance and insights offered by the framework will equip stakeholders with valuable information and guidance that can be utilized to enhance the security of their respective organizations while fulfilling their designated business objectives. The NCRF expects to serve as a comprehensive resource for strengthening the critical sector entities' cyber resilience and enhancing collective security efforts in the digital landscape. It can also be used as a reference document by the sectoral regulators to issue their own sector-specific guidelines. As mentioned earlier, the release 1.0 of the NCRF has been prepared with inputs from many organizations and cybersecurity experts across the country. I must express my gratitude and sincere thanks to everyone who has contributed to the documents and especially to the NSCS, the NCSC and his team and NITI for their constant guidance and support to achieve this robust framework document. Given the rapidity of the change that takes place in the cyber domain, it is possible that parts of the document may need changes or further improvement. Hence, NCRF has been conceptualized to be a collaborative and living document that undergoes regular and periodic updates derived from the feedback given by practitioners using the documents in their respective spheres of activities. I encourage you all to use this document and give your suggestions and feedback to NCIAPC. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Deputy National Security Advisor, TI, Lieutenant General M.U. Nair, National Cybersecurity Coordinator, Major Manjeet Singh, Joint Secretary Cyber, National Security Council Secretariat, Shri Narendra Nath, Joint Secretary, National Security Council Secretariat, my friends, colleagues, CISOs, and of course, esteemed guests and invitees for the Bharat CISO's Conclave. It gives me immense pleasure, and it's indeed a privilege to talk about the Bharat National Cyber Range 1.0 at this forum. Just to give you a brief introduction, the thought of developing an indigenous platform as a National Cyber Range initiated from the National Security Council's Secretariat and steered by the Office of the National Cybersecurity Coordinator. The focus was the non-availability of an indigenous platform which could create large instances for simulated, emulated IT and OT networks and allow for red-blue simultaneous exercise scenarios, training, CTF and others. The project in entirety is the building of long-term capability and capacity. Currently, we are launching Phase 1 or the Bharat National Cyber Range 1.0. Effective date of commencement was 7th of December 2022, and we have taken 2 years to work, research and develop on the Bharat National Cyber Range 1.0. The outcomes, as specified to us in consultation with the National Security Council Secretariat, was a grouping of 5 horizontal technology components, namely the platform management system, orchestration and automation, which was the core, computing infrastructure, virtualization layer, and the target infrastructure. We carried out research to develop a basic emulation testbed, orchestration and automation, platform management, and the threat and attack generators. So what exactly is the Bharat NCR or the Bharat National Cyber Range? It is an advanced immersive platform designed to simulate real-world cyber environments for training, testing, and operational purposes. It integrates various technologies to replicate realistic scenarios, enabling participants to sharpen their skills, as also enhance their understanding of modern cyber threats. A holistic platform which empowers individuals and organizations to prepare and combat the ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity threats. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bharat National Cyber Range. The journey for the Bharat National Cyber Range has, I continue the presentation. The journey for the Bharat National Cyber Range has not been easy. We set a mission for ourselves that we are going to build the foundation of a world-class cyber range which would be built in India by Indians and with global aspirations for the world. To build a cost-effective, versatile and a robust platform for cybersecurity training, testing and research tailored to our unique needs. To avoid reusing any of the established solutions without understanding their intricacies and limitations. Instead, we aim to evaluate, innovate and where necessary, fail fast to learn faster. The key features of the range, before I go down to the range itself, was a multi-layered network topology to simulate various environments, customizable scenarios tailored to any of the configurations, be it IT or OT, and incorporate a large number of virtualized systems of various platforms, Windows, Linux, IoT devices, ICS, OT systems, and so on. Enhance red and blue capabilities include various tools which are available for the red, as also enhanced blue training, which includes SEAL, SOC, SOAR, IDS, IPS, and so on. Have a focus on incident response, forensics analysis, and real-time monitoring of attack scenarios. The technology stack, just to give you a brief, an integration of various tools and frameworks, OpenStack and Dockerization, include pre-configured vulnerable system which will be fed in at any point of time of the range being live. We call them V codes and P codes. Ansible for automation, a God's view dashboard for the super green and the white players, performance metrics, multi-user support, scalable architecture, and cross-disciplinary integration. We evaluated a number of cyber ranges. We saw across the world as many as existed. And we took a call that customization is the king. We chose a tech stack which would allow flexibility, scalability, and cost efficiency. And believe me, we spent almost about first 1 year deciding on the tech stack as to which is the best suited. And finally, in May 2023, we made a presentation to the first project review and monitoring committee of the project, and there the tech stack was approved, and then we proceeded with Abhijit as our development partner to proceed beyond onto the further development. The tech stack, I will not deliberate on the same. I will move on to the Bharat National Cyber Range. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is, where's the landing page, please? Yeah, the login page. This is my cue. Yeah. The login page, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the landing page of the Bharat National Cyber Range. Can I have the GT view? Right. So we have a number of, it can carry out a number of cyber exercises. The cyber exercise can be stored, archived, pulled in, and so on. We have the cybersecurity exercise templates. Go down to the templates, where various templates can be stored, configured, built up, amended, added, picking up virtual machines from a pool or a digital ocean or a digital lake which is existing. We can pick up contemporary, we can pick up existing, and so on. We can carry out capture the flag simulations. We can have training environments and training. We have a number of user resources which are there in terms of P codes and V codes which I spoke about, the pre-launch codes and the vulnerability codes. And we have an active administrative function wherein the users, and the users are such wherein each Indian can be mapped to this once they are registered, and we can monitor the progress as a national asset of our capability for each one who is out over there. Can you go back to the range, to the game please, the exercise, yes. We have various, let's open one. So we have, this is a particular game which has opened, the topology. This is the green team view, so it's an auto-generated topology. Now everything which is in the range is an improvement for whatever we saw previously amongst all the global ranges and the Indian ranges which we saw. An automated topology generation, a scoring please. A detailed scoring from each and every virtual machine, each and every service which is out over there. We have game monitoring agents which collect the health of that service, of that particular machine, and aggregate it. Come down to the team scoring please. Horizontal view. A team scoring allows us for various ways that it is being scored, the teams are being scored. Can you go to the summary timeline? Yeah, okay, great. Come down please. It allows also the teams and the participants to adhere to the guidelines which are existing, be it incident response as per certain guidelines or others, which are existing, allow for incident mitigation reports and also situational reports. And there are multiple tasks which are there, which are in place, wherein the teams, when they are practicing, they can carry out threat hunting, digital forensics, threat intel tasks simultaneously. A very versatile, taking back your presentation please. Yeah, okay. Can a red team view? And here what we have done, 2 minutes. Here what we have done, what you see on the left are certain OT pods which are there. They are simulating train signaling and also power. And an attack which is being generated from the red team onto, through the simulated environment onto a physical system. Proceed. So here we are showing you the power of the range, wherein from a simulated environment, it is moving on, and attack is actually being carried out on a physical system which is on your right, on the dais. So that's the attack going through. Presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey till now has been a symphony of technology and teamwork, and with the guidance and support of the National Security Council Secretariat. Bharat NCR is not just a platform, it is a testament to perseverance, innovation, and the power of open source technologies. Bharat NCR represents our belief in creating a world-class cyber range, one that reflects not only technical brilliance, but also the emotional journey of a team united by a shared vision. And I thank the team for the same. And this is just the beginning. I will now request the National Security Council to take the IPR of the National Cyber.
Thank you, sir.
Are working on OT security, and right now they have a CCTV and an IoT system in place which can be attacked and how to mitigate the same. They also are working on a portable cyber range which we will see what the